Now, we actually, in order to speed things up just a little bit, because we were aware this is the last session, and then we went off on a tangent and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we wanted to speed this up a little bit. So we did our downtime off stream. But there is an element in there that I just wanted to kind of flash back to, if you like. And I wanted to flash back to Aggie, who had gone to the hound races in order to try and reduce heat. The crew's plan was to break a rival out of prison and to try to make it look like a GM stress, you got it. And try to make it look like Master Vreen, the owner of the hound races, may have been involved. Now, Aggie has a little bit of a history with the hound races, in that her family used to kind of own it and lost it somehow. And I kind of wanted to kind of go back to Aggie spreading rumors around at the hound races in an attempt to help pin this onto Vreen and reduce the heat of the crew. So Aggie, it turns out when you kind of arrive there that for once the hound races are actually closed to the public. And as you enter the gate, you see there's a man. He's a bit hunched over. He's walking with a very pronounced limp. He's carrying what appears to be some kind of pail, and he has a brush, and he's been painting some of the wooden parts of the hound races, and it looks better than it did. It was a bit shabby, the hound races, and you know that they've got a big race coming up, and it was meant to be some kind of big gala affair, and that a lot of people have invested into this extravaganza that's meant to be happening. And so evidently it looks like Vreen may have actually paid somebody or some of his workers to actually try and spruce the place up a bit. At least that's what it looks like at first. You see him, this man, kind of moving a little bit creakily. He's obviously getting on a bit. But there's something about him you seem to recognize. Something about the face. You seem to have some kind of recollection. You've seen this man, you've met him, or you've spoken to him before, perhaps, maybe. Maybe you've just seen him around at the races. You're not sure, but you think the connection must be stronger than that. What do you do?
I will just wander up to him. Hello? Are we not open today?
No, miss. No, miss. We're, well, Vreen, he's got us trying to clean up the place a bit.
Why?
There's a big race in a few days. Perhaps you haven't heard.
Yes, I did hear. But you've had other big races and he's never bothered. It hasn't been done here for years. Since the last owners.
And as you say that, he looks across at you. He looks down at you, and says, "Your face is familiar. I know you. Have you been here at the races often? I've seen you around, haven't I?"
I was here the other day.
Oh, yeah, maybe. No. Good Lord. You're little Aggie Bowers.
Sorry, you know me? I don't recall you.
Oh no, you'd have been small. Well, no, you weren't that small. It's a few years ago.
Yes.
I was sorry to hear about your old man. He looked after us well, you know.
He was conned and cheated, as you know. Or maybe you don't know.
Well, he didn't deserve what happened. I stood at that gate myself. He gestures behind you. I tried to hold the bluecoats back as long as I could. I earned myself this busted knee and a short stint in Ironhook.
Well, I appreciate that. He wasn't guilty, you know.
No, I'm sure he wasn't.
He was framed.
Well, you're you here for nostalgia, is it?
Well, between you and me, I'm going to get this place back. But don't tell anyone. It's just a process I've got to work through. I've got some friends that will help me, even if they don't realise they're helping me.
Oh. Well, you're very fortunate then, miss. Perhaps we'll have this place all nice and spruced up for you.
Be lovely.
This paint is shit, though. Smells awful, too. And he dips his brush in, starts painting the fence a little bit. And it is what it is. It's not going on very well. It's either, you know, it's very cheap
Watered
paint.
down.
Potentially. Maybe. Unless you have nothing else to say.
Well, I can't get in, so I will head back to the lair.
Absolutely. All right. So, let's head back then to everyone else. What's everybody doing now? You've got chains. Do you take him to your lair? What do you do with chains once you've broken him out of prison? It's all over the news, by the way. The newspapers, the boys on the street corners shouting out the headlines. Read all about it. Ironhook is in prison broken into.
I'm guessing then we got to make sure that he's kept safe for now, hidden. So probably our place. Although, do we really want him to know where our hideout is?
That's a good question.
I may be able to get him to be housed at Casta's place. Kelev is there anyways, guarding. So.
That sounds, yeah. Okay. And now with your downtime, you actually had a bit of an issue, so perhaps this is the issue. So you want Casta to kind of put chains up for a while. We don't know for how long. And he's not happy about this. The guy is a wanted criminal. You're trying to hide him out in his house, his home.
Casta's a bounty hunter at least, so you know he some.
He is.
But yeah.
Is he law-abiding? Probably not. He knows you. No. So, but he agrees that he will keep chains there as long as you leave Kalev to help guard this man. In case of any blue coats sticking their noses in or coming looking, or if any other gang members decide to stick their oar in as well. So he reluctantly agrees to do that, but you owe him. Again.
Not the first time, won't be the last.
No. So, what about Aces and Bang? I mean, this guy is at Cass's apartment. What is your plan? What is your plan with this man? Now you've broken him out.
We're gonna put him in a dress and give him a new identity.
He may not go for that.
No. If he
but
doesn't,
we can leave it to a fortune roll if you like.
No. If he's not up for that, I suppose
I thought Bang had plans for him to get married. You know, I think so a different persona instead of single person married to Bang person.
Shotgun wedding or.
Yeah, exactly.
I suppose we would engage in a conversation with him to find out what he knows and how he can help us take Vreen down. And
Okay.
we would then, after we've done that, we would probably put him into a safe house until everything cools off for a bit. Whilst we get
Right. So,
everything
I
ready.
mean, Casters is going to be the safe house. We've already kind of decided that. Let's see
It's
how.
the DOS call protection program.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's under an assumed identity in Duskfall. So what do you want to ask him then, Aces?
So, I think I've proven my loyalty to you.
So you have.
So maybe it's about time you give me the full picture with Vreen. I need to know exactly what he had you doing.
Well, he contacted us, didn't he? Not long after you decided to take on Finneys, as it were, to buy us out, he says sarcastically.
I did what needed to be done.
We were told to get a dog. Some fella, Rasmus Darver, I mentioned him before. He gave us some medicine for the dog. He told us to put it into a race. He was very particular about the race.
Knew it wasn't what I did. I knew it wasn't my fault.
I don't know the specific dates of this, but I ask if it
this was-
X date.
It was, yeah. It was when you had told everybody to bet on Lucky 13. And Lucky 13 came in second to another dog. My
Well,
dog.
I'll be honest with you. That explained it. We had our own dog that we had given a sedative to. Well, not a sedative, should I say. An enhancement to. Vreen knew all about it.
He did.
That explains why we lost.
Well, it turns out that Vreen and Darver, they'd put money on my dog through a third party. Made themselves a tidy sum, to be honest.
Did Vreen put money on your dog as well? Do you know?
Well, he did, yeah, but it was through a third party, like I say.
He did. Why would he do that?
Well, it looked like he lost money, didn't it? The
I
whole thing.
know why he put a bet on a third party, so it would cover his bets with me. But why would he go to the extent of having a second dog drugged, knowing that we had already done it?
Him and Darver, they're in the business of making money, that's all.
Yes, but he could have done that on our dog. Why go to the extent of getting a second dog? What did he benefit from having our dog fail? We had already done it. He took our idea and redesigned it after. It doesn't make any sense. Why?
No, I have no idea about that. I just know that him and this Darver, well, they've got money invested into this racetrack. Well, they've got other people's money invested into this racetrack. And
Vreen knew that our intentions was to use the situation to benefit us on the racetrack.
well, he wants the racetrack to lose money. He wants the racetrack to fail.
Why would he want the racetrack to fail?
Because him and Darver, they don't want the racetrack, they want the land that it's built on.
But
they've taken the investors' money. They want something accident to happen to the racetrack. They don't give the money back to the investors. They pocket it for themselves.
Does Aces know who would actually own the land of the racetrack?
Well, it's the racetrack, whoever owns the racetrack. So at the moment, it's Vreen and his investors. Or Vreen and Dava.
Why
You don't
does
know who actually knows.
Why does he need?
No,
them
he
to
doesn't know
fail?
it
Oh,
because, yeah,
I don't know.
no, the investors never really owned. They own the racetrack, but Rena's taken the money from them, and he wants to keep it.
So the
They wanna-
investors don't know that Vreen's sinking the money into his own pocket.
That's right.
Do we know who? Well, do you know who the investors are?
I've got no idea.
Who would know? They'd have to be on documentation somewhere, right?
Vrina know. I assume Dava knows as well.
Someone else must know. If they are the investors, it'd have to be on the books.
Well, that would probably be in Vreen's office then, would it?
Yes. With Ace's history with Vreen, would he know of any sort of ledger?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, of course he would. I mean, you've seen his desk. You know there's paperwork all over that desk. You've probably seen a big book.
If we could get that list of the investors, we could go directly to them. Flush Vreen out. And in doing so, we could possibly even convince them to appoint another trustee for the racetrack. This may work better than my original plan. I'll make you a
Right.
deal, James.
What's that? Oh, I figure we're even now, by the way.
Yes, I agree. But I have a new deal I'd like to propose to you. You're gonna have to go underground for a while. Obviously, your face will attract a lot of attention right now. But I know as well as you do, that does not mean you are useless. You already worked in the shadows, so this won't be much different. I'd like to propose an idea. You help me get the investors on board and instate me as the head of the racetrack, the figurehead for their investment. And not only will I give you back your stand, but I will ensure that you will be the only stand on that racetrack. You take all the profits, I take my cut, I have the racetrack to do my bidding. We all happy. I would suggest you do it, of course, but, well, a person who escapes a prison's not the best face for a off-the-record racetrack, right? You know
Well,
what I
I
mean.
can't imagine that investors would be willing to listen to me too much either. I don't have any sway with them.
No, but I'm sure between us we could find good reason for them to sway to our side. You see what you can find out in the shadows, I will find them in the light.
Oh, so we're like partners now, are we?
Off-the-record partners. Never be publicly seen as partners? No, that would be too dangerous for both of us. However, yes, in the background we would work together, you taking all the risk, and me taking the biggest
All the
fall
money.
should it all collapse down. I think that's more than fair. The reward is, of course, 50-50. Neither one of us deems to take all of it. I'm sure you could easily run your bookies without ever having to step foot in the day. Of course, with Reen pinpointed and put in prison, there's very good chance that in the long time we can clear your name entirely. Maybe even give you a new identity.
Quite like this one, to be honest.
Well, people can be paid, guards can be bribed. In the meantime, a future is required of capital, and I believe this is not only my best way forward, but it also is one of your possible best ways forward right now. I don't believe you really have got anything else already on the books, no?
I find myself strangely at a loss for employment situations.
Very good. I know that you're obviously down on your feet right now. So I would obviously foot your bill to begin with. Allow me to give you plenty of coin to start your business and to make your inquiries. A sign of a good and long partnership.
All right.
I'm going to give him a coin from the crew.
Okay. Okay, you can mark that off. All right.
And I have not ran this past the rest of them, so that'll be fun. Hope no one does the books.
I mean, that is a good point. So is Ace is doing this alone?
He is, because
He's
this
in that
partnership
moment.
needs to be behind curtains.
Okay. I think there's something at stake here. I think we may need to make a roll
Yes.
to do
that's
this.
fair.
I think what will happen. I mean, you need to convince this guy. He's basically been an enemy of yours for a while, hasn't he?
Yep.
And so that's not very blazing in the dark what I've just suggested, but I think we should probably. I mean, he's looking at you skeptically, but he's kind of tempted by your offer. But it looks like it could go either way at this moment in time. So how are you going to resolve this? How are you going to deal with this? That's slightly more Blade's way of looking at it.
I'm trying to not pick Sway.
But well, why?
Because
if that seems appropriate.
The only reason I'm not trying to get rid of Sway because I always go for it, and it's
Yeah.
you know, I'm actually trying to get rid of Sway because the definition of Sway is to charm via all logic, deception, disguise, or bluff, and change the attitude of behavior with manipulation and seduction. I don't believe it's manipulation and seduction. I'm not trying to manipulate him or seduce him. I am trying to make an honest deal. I feel like it's more...
Insult then. Is that more appropriate? If that was
it's still a sales role. I mean,
it kind of is. Yeah, I think. I mean, you could. Yeah, I think you could go either way with that.
I understand why you're trying to avoid the repetition of the.
But it is kind of a manipulation. ultimately, isn't it? I mean, but as all sales pitches are.
You know, if I were a GM, I might say because you're not trying deception, there might be some sort of bonus to this honest approach to sway. But I'm not in that position.
Wow.
All right, okay, I'll go with
He's
sway
Canadian.
because-
He's very nice. I'm not. I'm English, so I'm very, very not nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with sway just on I am trying to charm him and using logic. I'm
Yeah,
trying to charm
you
him
are.
and using logic.
And I agree. And it is, you are trying to manipulate him, because that's all sales pitches. That's what they are. They're a manipulation. So it definitely comes under that. I think you will get your bonus die, but it won't necessarily be for the reason that Jake suggested, because he doesn't know that you're telling the truth.
No, but I would argue that there's going to be a bonus die.
But
on
you
the
have just
fact
broken
that-
him out of prison.
Yes, we've
Right?
not only done him a big favor, but he's also he's got nothing.
He that's true. So
And I
I'm
feel like
going to give
he
you a
would be
bonus
more
die for that. Yeah. It's controlled as well. This position.
Mm-hmm.
And the effect is standard. You will achieve what you are trying to do if you succeed. Your injury will not affect you in this role.
That's good. Am I getting my bonus die?
Oh, do I have to add that in?
Oh, can I? I didn't think I.
Adjustments. Under adjustments.
Oh yes,
I'll-
sorry, I forget. Yeah.
Go on. I'll let you do it, because otherwise it
Done
will
it.
cause confusion.
Okay.
Let him have it.
Yes.
No, I mean that's all right. That's fine. I mean, you succeed.
Yeah.
So he looks at you. The skepticism disappears from his face, and he says, as you've suggested, "I've got nothing. I've no other better offers at the moment."
Then we'll shake on it, and I offer my hand.
And he takes your hand and shakes it. The annoying thing is that I did think of a really cool consequence that was going to happen. I've completely forgotten what it was in the space of about 30 seconds because I might have got early onset or something. So when that comes back to me, that's the consequence that we're going to have.
Okay. There's an unforeseen consequence for now. Well, unless there's anything else I can do for you right now, I suggest you slip into the shadows as quickly as possible. Vreen is most likely to try and point a finger at anyone, and it's probably going to be us. So the blue coats probably won't be long before they're knocking at our door.
Well, here's to a new partnership then.
Indeed. May our pockets be lined with gold.
All right. So what's the intention now? What are we going to do, folks? Where do we go from here?
I'm going to approach the crew.
Yep.
We have a small...
That's your consequence, isn't it? That was the consequence.
Oh,
I just
yeah,
remembered it.
because the crew don't know I've used...
You're doing this in Castor. You're doing this in Castor's house, aren't you?
Oh.
So Castor will overhear what you have just said.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah. So this may
Okay.
get back to... That's your consequence. Right.
Listen, guys. We have a small challenge. We need to break into Vreen's office.
Okay.
We need to get our hands on his ledgers and find out who his investors are.
Not a euphemism.
Damn it. Okay.
I'm open to ideas.
What do you mean ideas? So just go there and take it?
Well, let's call that Plan A. Has anyone got a Plan B?
Oh, plan B, we sneak round the back in his office and take it?
Okay, thank you, Bang. Aggie, Toma, have we got a plan C?
We haven't got any plan. It's like, you just.
Great. As usual, then, it is up to me. Right.
Well, you
Okay,
just
what kind
walked
of plan
in
do you
and
want?
decided you're going to do this, and then say we've got to give you the ideas.
I want us
You
to
want-
go to Breen's office and take stuff out of his office. Well, that's the plan. That is the plan. What specifics do you need?
Do we get to stab people?
Yes, that's a valid question, Aggie. Are we
Right.
going in stabbing people? Are we going in quiet? Are we going through the roof?
You know what? Next time I won't bother with the group effort, shall I? Toma.
You don't know.
You know you
Yeah,
need
well,
us.
you made a plan without asking us anyway. So why are you asking us now?
Good
Just
point.
Tell us what.
Let me tell
don't
you
know
how
what you
we're going to do
expected.
it then. Toma, I need you
Yes,
to
boss.
go and follow Vreen. I need to know what his routine is. I need to find out the best and optimal time to get into his office. Can I leave that with you?
Do you not know that already? Aren't you like friends?
Yes, but his plans may have changed. He may be dodging. He may be changing. He may have changed everything and is now defended in his office. I don't know. It's been a while. We've attacked him since. I need more and up-to-date intel. Please, Toma. Thank you.
Yeah, I could follow
Aggie.
him, boss. No.
I'm trusting this to you because last time Bang did this sort of work, it didn't go well. I need you to go to the Bluecoats and find out what they think about Vreen and the whole prison breakout.
Right, when did I do something bad with the blue coats? I haven't been to the blue coats.
We have that guy that we know with the blue coat. Shall we go and ask him?
Yes,
Or just go to the front desk and go, "Hello, blue coats."
No, Aggie, I don't want you to go to the front desk and bang on the bell and find out.
I
want you to go
sense a
and-
little bit of tension in the crew at the moment. Is this a thing? Is there?
Well,
Is there?
he's questioning our abilities after we just did a fantastical prison break.
Yes, the first thing that went well so far.
Yes, and you're coming back with attitude, so we're going to give it you straight back with no question.
Yes.
And he wants us to do something. He comes back and just basically tells us and then asks us for a plan.
Right, we went over this. Let's move on. Right, Aggie, Bluecoats, find out what's going on. Bang. I have a little bit of information for you that you'll be pleased to hear. And Toma, before you go, you want to hear this.
Yes.
Our dog failed the races not because of you two, so congratulations. It turns out
Congratulations. Do that.
Vreen had orchestrated another dog to be a little bit more advanced in drugs, shall we say, to beat us. Bang, I need you to find out who gave that dog drugs, because we're going to be... Well, let's just say we're going to be setting a little example of that person.
I need to know what drugs they were given. If they beat the drugs that I made and mine was a whopping concoction, then I need to know.
Exactly. Now, Chains is in that
And
room.
an apology would be nice, by the way.
Chains is in there.
There's a big dog race in a couple of days. I wonder if they're going to do the same thing.
Possibly. Either way, Chains is in there. He's the one that was orchestrated it via Vreen. He'll give you the information. I need you to go and find this person who helped do the dog. And we need to...
Well, you brought Chains to our lair.
No,
Yes.
Chains is at Caster's.
This
Chains
is
at
Caster's, Aggie.
house. Yeah.
No, we're at the lab.
Oh.
Caster only lives in a one-bedroom flat.
Chains is at Caster's, Bang. If you be quick, you might be able to catch him and he can tell you who specifically he got to drug the
Well,
dog.
edit that for YouTube. Don't worry.
We need to find out what drug he used because that might benefit us in the long run, but also we do need to set an example. I won't have anyone messing with the races other than me.
But
It's just bad
why did
form.
Vreen drug a dog when you were doing it anyway?
He's playing a game with the investors, which is why we're going for them. From what I can tell, he wants the investors to put more money in to save the races, but the races don't need saving. He's making it look like it's failing so that he can pocket all the investors' money and then close down the races and then probably build some luxury resort on it once it's done. Probably with the money.
Didn't... Now, call me out if I'm totally murdering this, but didn't Jane say something about the race wasn't going to happen?
Are you talking to me or the spiritual bubble?
he did. You
I'm
weren't
saying
there.
that, I'm saying
Bang
that to
wasn't
the
there.
room.
Bang wasn't there, but yes,
Okay.
he did say that. Yeah.
What? The big race.
I can't remember which.
Yeah.
I can't remember which conversation it was. Whether it was in the prison or whether it was when just Aces was talking to her in the prison, or whether
Yeah.
when we were talking in the
The
prison.
race is
Either
definitely
or,
going to
doesn't matter.
happen because they're painting it all up and it's like looking great. The paint stinks terrible.
Stinks of what?
It did smell a bit funny.
Dots are connecting.
You know, we'll see when my dots connect, can't you? It's like Aces.
Yes, Aggie.
They're painting something, but didn't smell like normal paint at the race course because I've just been there. And Bangs just said the race isn't going to happen. Now, you like to set things on fire, yes?
I don't know where you've heard that before.
I'm
I've never set anything on fire, Aggie.
No, there are accidents, Aggie. Accident.
Well, anyway, if he's not careful, there's going to be a fire at the races. I think.
I'll go to the races and investigate that myself then.
We
Find out what's
sniff-
going on.
Sniff up.
If it is what you think it is, I'll know it a mile off.
I don't know. It just smelled it literally just then, just because Bang said that they were painting it, and it did smell weird. And yeah, I had a light bulb moment. Though we don't know what light bulbs are, do we?
I want to be clear to you all.
Yes, we do.
I want to be clear to you all. My intention is to take Vreen down. Once we have the list of his investors, when we know his plan, with a little help from Chains, who is reluctant to help us, but will, we are going to ensure the investors move and leave Vreen to rot. We will put the bullet in him, maybe even literally Aggie, yes. And we will be taking over the races ourselves. That is
Quick
my
side.
plan.
Side question. Was Vreen the first one to take over after Aggie's family, or is it swapped hands a few times?
I think from timing, after a brief discussion with Ange, I think he was the one to take over after.
Okay.
Aggie,
So-
Yeah, actually, I've got a question. I got something I want to bring out here because there's a name being bandied around a bit here that Tamer knows very, very well. So I'm wondering what Tamer's take on everything is, because apparently, according to Aces, this guy is the one that supplied this.
Well, I know
It's
that
medicine.
conversation happened, so I may have found out later through Costa. But
Oh God, there's that. Yeah, we're going to deal with that.
So
Yeah.
So that particular information, and Ace is sending me out to follow Vreen, will definitely be mixed with my own, trying to see if Razmadarva are also going to be there at the time, and if they're in cahoots with each other, I may let one slip and follow another. But I am, I mean, it may or may not be noticed that I am, kidding myself out when I go to do this surveillance work with maybe some extra equipment, maybe like some sort of long-range rifle, which is collapsed and stuff in the bag.
Right.
So,
Yeah, sure.
that it will definitely be a dynamic. Now, it could be that the little side quest will come at the expense of following Vreen all the time. Depends, or it could be that there's a happy coincidence there somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, we have somebody.
Aces.
Yes, Aggie.
I know we're a gang and you think you're in charge. But when we do all this, right, and we win back the race track, it was my mom and dad's who died because of what happened.
Bang, Toma. You have your orders. Please, I need a moment with Aggie.
I'll do a little, fist bump tag you on the way out, like.
Yeah, I'll head out. Go and find Chains.
Don't forget your dolls.
Yeah. Well, does Tamir think that Aggie's going to end up having a fight?
Oh wait, we're friends with Chains now. Isn't that Bang's boyfriend?
We can have a new boss.
Aggie, have a seat.
I sit down at the desk.
I haven't forgotten your heritage, Aggie. I just did not want to go over this in front of the others. I want to let you know of the full deal. I have made an arrangement with Chains. We're working together. And so I need you to make sure that
I kill him.
he doesn't step over the line. But I am giving him a lot of leeway. He is working with us. As part of this arrangement, I will be giving him all the stalls on the race yard. However, if all goes well, I will be the sole proprietor of the race yard. However, Aggie, I made you a promise when you joined my crew, and I intend to keep it. Once I have control of the race yard, I will be putting you down as the sole owner by 51%.
Aggie drops her guard and jumps up, runs around, and plants a kiss on Ace's cheek, and then goes back and sits down and so I get to kill people.
You will need to find a way to get on the right side of the law now, Aggie. Once you become this, you won't be able to do what you do. You will have a standard to uphold, your family standard. I will take a seat behind you, hidden in the shadows. I have bigger plans than a race yard, of course, and I'm sure I will find a position for you within those plans as well. I need you to be the legal face of my operations, Aggie. Your name gives you so much weight, and with your permission, I intend to exploit it to gain the trust of the law and the people of this city.
I just turn and go, well, you know I'm able to do it like that, because I was brought up like that.
Was brought up proper.
From this point on, Aggie, I need you to be as proper can be.
What, straight away? So I've got to go and speak to the blue coats.
Just don't get yourself in any trouble with them, and you can do as you please.
Okay, that's fine.
Right. So we all have our little operations that we have to carry out here. Who is wanting to do their little bit first? Anyone?
I'll go.
I'll do it. Mine's quite easy. I'm going to go and search out our Conway.
Okay, yeah, let's say you go looking for Conway.
I think we would know his kind of route and stuff, so I will skulk around in a dark alleyway till he's trolling by.
Yeah, now we know that Conway is actually he's like a watch commander, risen up there through machinations and your assistance, I think. But when you try to arrange a meeting with him, he suggests you meet at the Little Keg, which you know is Ace's local.
Okay, I will wait at the Little Keg for him.
All right. And when he comes in, is Aggie the kind of person that would be there early for the meeting, or is she going to turn up late?
I'll be there early and sat in such a position where I can watch the door and assess the situation around me before they get there. So if anything sus is happening.
Yeah. So you've been to Little Keg before with Aces. You know, it's quite a friendly place. A lot of these people probably know you as well. So you're not short of drinks when you arrive here. You find yourself a nice corner seat in the shadows. And when Conway comes in, you can see that he's wearing a large coat which seems to be covering his blue coat uniform up as much as possible. He looks a little bit unshaven. It's not how you've seen him before in the past. He's glancing around nervously and furtively. He catches your eye and wanders over to your table. With a last look around him, he kind of sits down in front of you. Look, you got to help me out here. I've got inspectors breathing down my neck now. All right? They think I've got something to do with you lot. They're onto me. All right? I need some help. Like Strangford's cut me off. He's not even answering when I send him a message.
You need to calm down. And just go in and do your job. We don't call on you that often. And you are where you are because of what we've done.
Mark, you muted.
Oh.
I risked my neck getting your fella out of that goddamn auction house.
And you did a really good job. And Aces is very appreciative of that.
Well, that's it.
When the time is right, you will get the right payoff. You know that. And there's a big job going down. But we need you to help us one time.
I don't know if I can. Why the fuck should I?
Because you get Vreen.
I don't give a shit about Vreen.
You get to take him down.
What? So fucking what? I'm gonna lose my job.
No, you won't. Gosh, you are panicky. Well, what do you want? Yeah. Well, we kind of need you to do one more favour for us.
Fucking knew it.
But hold on a minute.
The voice of Aces echoes around your mind. And I'm hoping he remembers, because I don't.
We were trying to find out what the blue coats are up to on the investigation on the prison break. And if they think it's Reen and that,
Just do a little ooh,
says the
ghosty.
voice of ooh, find out what they know about the prison break of Reen.
Stream, if you don't know, there is a chat at the side of his head. I'm frantically going, help! I've forgotten what he asked me. What am I supposed to ask? And Tony's going, I don't know. Ask him this. Oh, I forgot. I'm so sorry.
It's going to be a very short YouTube episode when we've cut all this stuff out.
I got distracted by me getting the dog thing.
It's got to your head.
Yeah.
Like, I asked him all that.
And that, folks, is how we role play.
Oh, I need to get my composure out. I've got all hot.
Do you want me to come back?
No, it's fine. Right. I just turn around and say,
She's forgotten already. Tell you what, Tamer.
As I follow along, I'm looking for Vreen. I'll start at the racetrack.
what's wrong with me?
Okay, so you're going to start at the racetrack. I mean, that seems like a perfectly logical place to start. Yeah, and you probably noticed too.
On the way to the racetrack, I may just go by Rasmus's place to see if I see telltale signs of him.
Now, this is the thing, because you did stake this place out a few days ago, so you know a few of the details about this location up in Brightstone. A rather upper class area. There's like a mansion. You know that he doesn't own it.
Yeah, he was renting.
That he must be renting it. Yeah, from somebody in town. So you know exactly where this place is. What is it you're trying to find out from here? And how are you doing?
If he's there, if anybody else is there with him.
Oh, okay. Now, you've been staking this place out for a while. I think you would know already that maybe this is quite an interesting thing. Periodically, as you've been kind of staring from a distance at this place, you've seen this silhouette that you know so well. It is ingrained upon your brain of Lady Tassie's sable. And yeah, how does Tamer feel every time he's caught and it's always been a real fleeting glimpse. You've never actually seen her fully. Maybe a silhouette in the light as she's kind of passed in front of a window, just for the briefest moment. How does Tamer feel every time this occurs?
Seeing Lady Tassie there, it you know, Tamer really wants to see if Rasmus is there and can I take advantage and shoot him.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what goes through my mind. Like, I'm not quite ready to go to Lady Tassie yet. Not until I've.
Right. So his sole aim here is to kill Rasmus Dava.
Yes, knowing that Lady Tassie is here just makes it all the more urgent that I do so.
Okay. You see like a Tassie Sable, obviously, passing through the window periodically, or in front of the window. So I guess, yes, you're bound to see the silhouette of a gentleman there also. And I'm sure that his silhouette is also burned into Tamer's mind. Is it as soon as he sees this person's silhouette in the window, is he liable to?
It's going to be when he sees an opportunity that he can't pass up. So it's like every time I'm sent out, Asa sends me out to do something, I'm finding a reason to go by that house. Whether it's to make sure I'm not being followed, not to take the same route each time. So every time he sends me out to do something, I'm very happy. And it just gives me more time to be out and about.
Okay. So this evening you find yourself in front of this mansion. Yeah, and there's a few windows that are lit within this. What time of day would this be? I mean, obviously it's always nighttime in Duskwall. There's no sun, so it is always dark. But
I think if it's a time when the tracks would be open, then I would be going to follow Vreen first.
Yeah.
And if it's a time that the track is closed, then I'd be going first.
And this is the thing. When Tamer arrives at the racetrack, he sees that it is actually closed. The big electroplasmic sign that was proudly declaring that flickered and was probably had the odd broken letter at that the last time you were here. That proudly declared Vreen's hound races is off. There are a couple of people perhaps milling around that seem to be painting the place, trying to spruce it up a little bit. Maybe pulling up a few weeds, mowing lawns, I don't know, whatever they do.
Any sign of Vreen in his office?
The Vreen's office light is on. The gate, however, is shut. There's like an old man standing in front of the gate. He's painting away.
Yeah, I'm at this point going to watch that room from afar. I'm gonna wait until Vreen gets out and follow him, or if people are coming in, watch who's coming in. So it's surveillance, exactly like Ace has told me to do.
It certainly is. So Vreen hangs around at his office until it gets quite late. And then you'll see the light going off. And his figure walking down the steps, the wooden steps from his little shack. And heading towards the gate.
I will follow him to his vice purveyor, or wherever he is, on his way to home, and at least hopefully come back with some information.
Sure. So I mean, he is definitely he's leaving the hound races. You are intending to surveil him. He takes a circuitous route. He's looking back periodically. He looks a little nervous himself as well, now, come to mention it. And he seems to be actively trying to avoid surveillance. So what do you do? How does Tamer follow this man that seems to be concerned that he's being followed?
I will probably use I will be using a hunting skill.
Yeah.
If we're talking about a roll, so it will be everything that Cast has taught me when I'm, following a mark. To make sure.
Are you intending to kill him, or just follow him?
No, my instructions were not kill; it was follow.
Okay. Right. So you're hunting this fellow through the streets of. Are you remaining inconspicuous, or do you want him to know that he's being followed?
No, I'm going to remain absolutely conspicuous. Okay. I want to get information.
Okay.
Yeah, I may have a couple of changes of hats. Put on a hat, take it off every now and then.
Turn your jacket inside out periodically.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. So let's go with this then. Obviously, you know, he's trying to avoid being followed. So if you fail, he will have obviously achieved his goal, and you will have failed yours. So let's see what happens. I mean, it's not. I think it's going to be controlled. This particular, because this is Tamer's thing, and he's not in any particular danger at this moment in time that he's aware of.
Right. I'm gonna make a devil's bargain to give myself an extra die on this.
Well, normally we give you the devil's bargains, but let's hear yours.
Well, Aces will know that while I'm out, I'm not only, you know, following Vreen, but also doing my own side stuff.
I think the thing would be, he doesn't know that, but he's going to find out. Somebody will see you, recognize you, and will report back to Vreen, to report back to Aces that you are. Actually, that's a weird. You're not necessarily. You don't know. You're following Vreen. You're doing exactly what Aces told you to do.
But
so that's not.
Somebody may find me later doing, or have found me before. I mean, maybe there's nothing there. We don't have to take that as a bargain. We can just roll the way it is. I just don't want to lose him this time. So I'm.
Okay. So you want?
I'm willing to
to
take severe consequences.
You can push yourself if you want to. But too stressed, that would work.
Okay.
The devil's bargain would be. The devil's bargain is that someone. The devil's bargain is that a blue coat patrol is going to come across. They're going to come across you. And you're going to get shaken down by these guys because you're actually wanted.
I'm going to push myself. I do not want to get caught by the blue coats with a long-range rifle. Folded up in a bag. All right. Oh, 2 stress. Okay. I lose him. Okay.
Yep, okay. Yeah.
Damn it.
So what happens is, as you're trying to follow this guy through the streets, it's quite late at night, and suddenly somebody grabs you and drags you into an alley. And at first, obviously, you're ready for a fight. It turns out to be your friend Castor. And Castor says, "What are you doing?"
I gotta follow that guy.
What? No, look. That Aces. I don't know. There's something not right. He's made some kind of deal with that guy you got me watching.
Doesn't surprise me, but that's for the good. What kind of deal?
He got in a partnership with him or something over the ham races. I don't know what he was.
What? I'm gonna have 2 bosses now? Bad enough with 1.
Oh, he didn't mention you at all. It's like he was making a deal with him.
He's gonna run the races. He's gonna. What? Chains gang? What's gonna be of us?
I don't know. But
I'm losing my job.
Do you trust this guy?
Not anymore. But he didn't tell us anything about a deal with. I mean, we're his gang. We built this up together. I mean, we've been rigging these races and bets and schemes and everything all together. How could he just make a deal with Chains? He was our rival. That's why he wanted us to break him out of prison. Oh my god. He's been deceiving us all along.
Why don't we turn this guy back over to the Bluecoats?
My god. Aggie said that Aces was doing all of this so that that her family heritage would be restored. Fuck.
Well, he's making some deal. He said he was going to be the sole proprietor and that Chains was going to be working in the background or something.
I gotta tell Aggie. That's... Oh, I better see Aggie right away. I mean, by all rights, that the racetrack belongs to her and her family.
Thought we'd go and get a drink first.
Yeah, of course we're gonna get a drink first.
Bit of Dutch carried.
I mean, we could turn that Chains over. We could turn him over to the Bluecoats. Clear your name.
Oh yeah, well we know where he is. He's still holed up with you, right?
Exactly, right?
Caleb
We say
is
we
on-
caught him. We say we caught him, and
You know what? I have somebody in the Bluecoats that if I tell him about this and he's the one that catches Chains, that would be a big deal for him. He'd get
That sounds-
promoted right away, and then he'd owe me a big favor.
that sounds perfect.
That's
Let's go get a drink.
okay.
Bang.
Yeah.
How can we screw this up even further?
Well, many ways, I'm sure.
Yeah. So,
Esther, why aren't you with Chains now? Oh, what? Bang
Caleb's
is with him
watching
and
him.
asked you to leave the room? Oh, okay.
Caleb's watching him. Caleb's guarding him.
It's
That dog.
boy. I'm going over to cast.
Oh, you're heading over to Casters. Okay. So when you get
He's
there,
not in.
he's not there.
I don't know whether to. I mean, to be fair, I would just shout through the door, keep knocking. Because you know he should be in.
You'd probably let yourself in.
Yeah, I mean, I'd knock first.
Yeah, there's no answer.
But yeah, if I can get in, I'll get him.
Well, I mean, Aces, is Chains a prisoner? That's the big burning question.
No.
He's just laying low, right?
Yeah.
So Chains answers the door.
Yeah, I'll just head on inside.
Okay.
Make my way inside, whether he moves or not. So I'll just go in. It's like,
Didn't expect to see you again. Not so soon, anyway.
well, you know, we need information. I have questions. I need. Aces told me about the dog rigging that you did.
Yeah. Yeah. And?
I need to know where you got your stuff from. Why it was better than mine.
Oh. Professional rivalry, is it?
Call it professional interest. We'll see about rivalry later.
Well, like I told him, I got it from a guy called Rasmus Dava, who's working with Vreen.
Wait, so
He's at some fancy house in Brightstone, I think.
that would have been useful information that Aces should have passed on.
Yeah, I forgot you said that. Sorry.
Oh,
I figure it was just that Bang wanted to see Chains again.
Yeah, Aces told you, but you still wanted to check.
Right.
So you used this stuff? Did you know what was in it? What it was?
Didn't ask. No.
Can you just put it in a dog?
That's what I was paid to do.
Okay, and where did you say I can find him?
Rasmus Darver.
Yeah.
Well, he's a money man, isn't he? He's got his wife is, or fiance. They've got they're renting a place up in Brightstone.
Okay.
Swanky place it is. I mean, they didn't let me in, but
I can't imagine. I'm surprised they even let you to the door.
who said they did?
Okay, so he gave you that? It's very strange.
Maybe it's a Severosi thing.
Could be. Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know where he got it from, but he said he would do the job, and you know what? He was right.
Yeah. I mean, it was very close.
It was. It was close. I assume the other dog had some medicine too.
He wasn't going to win it all by himself, was he? That's him.
Well, perhaps not.
But no, I need to find out about that other stuff. It seemed so much better. Is the dog okay?
Does that matter? He won the race.
Well, I mean, generally after they win, they need to win more races, but not.
Do they?
Yes.
I don't know. If they keep winning races, doesn't it shorten the odds?
Yes, but if you're control of how many, when and where it's winning, you can control the odds. Yes?
I don't know. He only needed him for one race.
Okay. That's very sad. Okay. I'm just gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna head out. I'm
All
gonna
right.
go to find Rasmus' place.
I think that Chains could have given you the actual address of the place if you'd have wanted it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is a particularly fancy mansion. It's owned by some noble here in Duskwall, but it's currently being rented out to Rasmus Darver and the lady Tassie Sable. You kind of approach the gates. It's one of these. It's kind of the thing about Brightstone. Everywhere else seems to be kind of covered in this kind of blanket of soot almost, or at least most of the stonework has kind of got the black staining from soot and smoke. Brightstone is one of those places where it gets cleaned up regularly. Even the water's kind of perfumed and stuff like that. It's all very swanky here. Very upmarket.
Is the child keeping the
So
shadow?
you feel a little bit out of place. I mean, it's late. It's late, so it's not like there's masses and masses of people. The streets are all electrically lit. It's very brightly lit here as well. So it's not like there's masses of shadows for you to cling to, if you like. But nobody's going to stop you. You're not. You're just a citizen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Blue coat patrols are quite frequent in this area, though. You know that.
I mean, the main thing, obviously, I'm not gonna try and get in the building or anything this time. First I want to check, like, does it have like a? Well, they don't have stables. Wait, would they have stables? They don't have horses.
Ooh, that's a good. They would have. Yes, they would. I think because they would have somewhere to house goats and things like. The goats draw the horses. They draw the horses. Draw the carriages.
Yeah.
And so they'd have somewhere to keep those. So I guess it's something like a stable. What is a stable that keeps goats? I don't know. It's one of them.
I don't know.
No, I have no idea.
But yeah, so it's just.
It's a stable.
So if, it's just like that. If they've got a stable in a house that's big, they would more than likely have a stable hand or somebody that tends to the animals,
Yeah.
which would be maybe be where they got the. You got the I want to say potion.
Yeah. I mean, the thing would be, the problem you've got, I guess, is that whoever is employed at the house is not necessarily employed by the people that are renting it, if you like, maybe. So he might not know. I mean, we could leave it down to a fortune roll if you want. I mean, whether a stable hand would know crazy chemical compositions of weird stuff that they've put in dogs at a dog race.
Well, it's more along the lines of like if we know Tomé is kind of has like a veterinary background, so it's more like that because especially because James mentioned the Severosi thing, so it's assuming that these are from the same sort of land where Tomé is.
Okay, so what is it you want from this guy? What is it you want to achieve? If there's somebody there, like a stable hand, what is it you want from him?
It's just to know if he's trying to be sly with it, not outrightly ask, but it's more of if they deal with dog, or how well they care for animals, kind of thing. So would they have access to this sort of thing on a regular basis?
Okay. I think, let's say then, yes, there is a stable hand here. He has come with them, so he's employed by them. And you find yourself outside of the gate or the fence of this particular establishment, and you want to try and get to this guy. There's blue coat patrols around this area quite frequently, and you want to get to this fella and interrogate him about. So how are we doing this?
Question. I think it's trying to find a place that's kind of hidden. I'm saying that.
I put you on the spot, right?
Yeah.
Let's.
Well, I mean. We wouldn't really have anybody watching the gates or anything, would they?
They have no real reason to, I suppose. There'll be people, employees of of whoever owns the house, potentially like housekeeping and things like that, I guess. So there are people around, but they're not standing guard, no.
I'll go for the front gate then.
All right. What my question would be, how are you approaching it? Are you sneaking in? Are you trying to go in as a used dog salesman or something? What's the?
Well, I'm gonna go in, not sneakily, obviously not drawing attention to myself, but just gonna go head straight for the stables.
Yep.
It'll be. I think I'd be more along the lines of like trying to portray myself in a similar situation. Like, I deal with animals, just wanted some help. I'm quite new to it. I've got a friend that's a vet, but I just wanted a difference of opinions of how how you deal with dogs.
Okay. All right then. This sounds like your So.
What did be?
Yeah. What ability were you using here for this then? The obvious one.
Consort, because it won't be sway, because that's trying to
manipulate
sway
people.
someone.
It sounds just like that.
Yeah, actually, sway someone with charm. Yeah, I'm guessing. It's more sway, I think.
Okay.
Go sway.
Let's do that. At the moment,
Yeah, I have nothing in
You have
in
nothing.
that. No. I'm going to push myself.
You want to push yourself?
Yeah.
The devil's bargain will be, if you want to choose this instead, is that Rasmus Darver himself is going to walk in to the stables.
Oh.
That's all the help you're going to get.
Yeah, no, Bang
Oh.
would not be able to deal with that.
Okay. So you don't have to accept that. We'll just
Yeah.
have
No, just
push
stick
yourself.
with push yourself.
Okay.
See how badly this goes.
This I think is risky,
Yeah.
but let's see what happens then.
Okay. Fuck it.
Whoa. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Went back. Nice.
Nah.
As you kind of enter the stable, this stable hand that you see there, you instantly recognize him. He's a Severosi. You instantly recognize that. He's a little bit surprised as you enter. Oh, can I help you, miss?
Hey, sorry, I was just walking past and saw obviously this beautiful stables. I wondered if you had any information about animals I may be able to pick your brain with. You see, I'm getting in the trade, although it is with dogs, but I'm getting in the trade and I could really use a little bit of help. I'm quite new to the whole thing.
I mean, it's quite late. I'm surprised you're walking past, but I mean, I know a little bit about dogs. What can I help you with?
Well, it's just I need to know, obviously, how to get the best out of them. Like, is it certain diet, certain training regimes? Is it just giving them cuddles? Just leaving them hungry? What is the best way to do this?
Well, really, miss, it all depends. It all depends whether you want the dog to survive afterwards. You know what I mean? Are you a dog lover, miss?
I mean, I like them. They're hopefully going to get me a fair share of money soon.
Oh yeah,
But I need them to be good.
You don't need just one, then, do you? You know, if you wanted to run a race,
Yeah.
just put money on it, right? It doesn't matter what happens to it after that race, does it? You know what I mean?
So just. Well, if you have more than one, you can win more than multiple races.
Well,
very
the thing,
quickly.
you could. But listen, we got some herbs in Severosi. If you mix them together in the right way, doesn't matter who the dog is.
Wow. That's very inspiring.
Well,
I mean, the saying goes, you've got to be in it to win it, and well,
exactly.
if you put it in it, there you go.
Exactly. You know, I mean, yeah, it's not good for the dog, admittedly.
I mean, yeah, well,
But
let's face it, we all have a little bit of something that's not great for us.
well, I mean, that's right. But yeah, it turns out my master, as it were, he's bit of a dab hand with these concoctions.
Oh. I mean, I don't suppose he, gives it a trade. That's still all.
What did he sell it? You mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Or is he also in the trade? I wouldn't want to.
He's in the trade at the minute. He seems to have many different trades, miss.
That's
But
fair. It keeps him interested.
yeah, I mean, Well, if you're interested, maybe I can get you some of it.
Oh well, it would certainly be a good test. I mean, that would set me off on a really good stepping stone. Oh, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if anything I can do for you, that would be, quid pro quo and all that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's the right term for that.
No, that's fine. It is. That'll do.
I'm.
Perfect.
I honestly don't know what he would ask for.
I'm gonna. Let me just pull up what I have on me at the minute in my bundle. If there's anything that sounds really good to normal folk, because I think there's one that makes you feel really.
You could give him
good.
some really cool drugs.
But that's what I'm thinking.
Whatever it is you hit chains with when you met him at the race course, that would.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not gonna dwell on the details here. Let's just say you're gonna offer him some substance, and he's sold on it because you've rolled a 6. So he scuttles back to the house and appears moments later, with a small vial of liquid.
Ooh.
Gotta give him some spark.
And he hands that to you. And you hand him the spark.
Yes, it makes him feel empowered, but also gives off a mild electromagnetic pulse. So he's gonna feel really shitty afterwards.
Well,
So he's gonna feel like a god for about 10 minutes.
And then for the next 3 days, he's gonna feel like absolute shit.
Yes.
Yeah. So he takes.
At least
this
he's
spark.
not going to die.
No, he's not going to die.
But
he
yeah,
hands you the
I'll
vial.
take it.
Sure.
It's like, this is going to be wonderful. Oh my god, there's the big race is coming up. I mean, I'm not going to use it at the big race.
Oh yeah, don't.
That's...
Oh, I mean that would be wrong.
No, that's where I'm going to test out the competition and see who to aim for first with this, and then get him where it hurts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. Well, best of luck, miss.
Well, thank you. You are so very, very kind. Well, see you again. And I'll just toddle off. I'll be like, I'll go straight back to the lair and just like.
All right.
The worst thing is, I'll probably be fucking sniffing this on the way home. Like, what the fuck is in this?
You'd be drinking it.
Well, no, I specifically know that it causes death, so I wouldn't taste it.
Yeah, but it'll make you run very fast.
But
So
huffing
you get back
it,
to the lair really quickly. But you'll expire when you get there.
Yeah.
So Aces, during this time, what is Aces up to?
Muted.
Aces would have probably waited a while until everyone's gone and sort of thing, and then slandered off to the racetrack in the shadow of the night.
Okay. And as the others have discovered, the racetrack is suspiciously closed.
Aces does not care, and he walks in.
Okay. Where's he going? What's he up to?
He's so basically he's investigating the paint situation.
So actually, that's the thing. At the gate, you see there's an oldish looking fella with a limp, kind of hunched over. He's industriously painting away at some of the woodwork in the establishment. The paint is not going on very well at all, and he's kind of muttering and cursing to himself as he's splashing this stuff on. Are you sneaking in, or are you gonna let this guy see you?
I'm gonna let this guy see me. In fact, I'd probably call out to him.
All right.
Everything all right there, sir?
He stops. Evening, sir. Can I help you?
Just admiring your painting work as I pass through.
This stuff. Terrible. Must be watered down or something.
Ah,
Smells like shit.
Is this the new paint job that was ordered by Vreen?
Yes, it is, sir.
Are you sure you're using the correct paint? If you're not, he won't be happy. Here, let me have a check. And I
Okay.
kind of beckon him to bring me the can of paint.
Well, he wonders over it. I mean, he lets you take the brush from him. Oh, need that back, sir.
And Aces just puts it to his nose and he smells. Does he smell
Right.
anything he knows?
Yeah. You don't have to get it too close to your nose. It's quite
No.
strong smelling. Now, this is the thing. Ace is...
He just has a history.
he has a penchant, does he not, of making things warm.
Yes! He has a bright history.
It smells like it could be flammable. Yes, most definitely.
Although most paints do, right?
That's the thing. They kind of do, but this one, yeah,
Very.
you've not smelt paint like this before.
Which cupboard did you get this one from?
Come sir.
Where?
I got it from the shed, where I was told it was.
Oh, bugger! Yes, things changed. This isn't the paint you should be using, my fellow. Not to worry. We can fix this before Vreen notices.
It was Vreen specifically told me to use this paint, sir.
Yes, but I forgot to mention to him that I'd moved a few things around. My fault. I'll explain to Vreen. Follow me. I know where the real paint is that he needs.
Okay. I mean, he's a little taken aback, but I don't see any reason for him not to go along with this.
Yeah.
He follows you back. Where are you heading? You heading to the shed?
I'd like to see. First of all, with Aces being around this place quite a bit, and probably being in the back rooms and everything, does he know about any other room where there may be paint of some kind? Because they obviously would be doing touch-ups on the track normally anyway. So that he maybe a
this is the
utility
thing
room
is that
somewhere.
they haven't, which is why there's the panic. So, the shed has other paint in it, probably.
Okay, do I
You know
know?
what? Tell me, does Aces know? Tell me, does Aces know of another place where they're keeping stuff?
Aces knows of a utility room that's in the basement underneath the stadium.
All right.
Aces will lead the man there.
Okay. So you head down. Yeah, there's perhaps obviously a little a hut with a trapdoor in it that leads down into an underground area, then a cellar. He follows you down, wheezing and huffing as he goes on his bad leg down the ladder. Oh, little dark down here, sir.
Yes,
Let me,
watch your step.
Let me just light this torch.
Aces slightly moves the bucket in front of him of paint that he's carrying now.
Yeah.
Just in this room, I believe. You go first. You have the torch.
Okay. He steps into the room with the torch brandished in front of him.
Now, when you say torch, you do mean of the flame kind, don't you?
I do.
Once he's in the room,
He's gonna do something terrible.
Ace is going to chuck the bucket on this guy.
Oh no.
Oh.
What did he do?
I know.
Oh no, you didn't.
Why?
Okay.
Oh my god.
I know. I'm sorry.
I
What
just
did he do? He's my friend.
Oh,
He could have
Aces
told you.
doesn't know that. Aces
He
doesn't
could
know
have
that.
told you anything.
I know he could have told me anything, but
Well, what will you gain from this?
well, I'll find out what the paint is.
You could have just spilled some on the floor.
But Ace just has an idea of what it is, and like he's a
You could have
witness.
just spilled some on the floor.
No, he's a witness, and he's gonna stop
Maniac.
this. And look, you're not there. This is a secret Ace is gonna have.
yes.
Consciouses, we're judging you right now.
I know.
You are judged.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know who's going to feed his family tonight.
He lived alone. He was a solitary man. Okay. You're going to basically throw this stuff onto this guy and see
Yep.
what happens.
Yep.
Right. You're dealing with a flammable liquid,
Yep.
potentially.
Yep.
A potentially flammable liquid.
Yep.
And there's a naked flame.
Yep.
How are you approaching this?
Fumes in the air.
Oh, you've actually got it. Yeah, I'm just wondering, in terms of the ability you're using here, because you obviously have sent him in first. He's unaware of what's going on, so.
Is there a traitor turn? You know.
I'm gonna be using finesse because
Okay. That
I'm
sounds
very well
about-
aware that this is flammable, and he won't want to be getting any of it on him. He doesn't want it to splash everywhere.
No.
He doesn't want the fight. He has a feeling it's going to be flammable, and he's trying to do it in a controlled way, so it's not going to burn down the stadium or anything. There is a background reason here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna finesse this. You're gonna have less effect because you've got this issue with your arm.
Yeah.
So the effect is gonna be. So you're not necessarily gonna throw it all over. Ooh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, you're not just gonna throw it all over him. You might just splash a bit on him as it is going at the moment. Unless you want to push yourself to increase that to a standard.
No, I'm just not the whole bucket, just a chunk of it.
Okay. That's not a good roll.
No, that's not a good roll.
Oh no.
So what happens is this guy, as you go to throw it, he turns and he sees what you're doing and he's like, "What are you doing? What are you bloody doing? What do you think you're playing at?" And he kind of rushes forward to try and push you out of the way. And he's surprisingly strong. And so you kind of get pushed down and thrown to the ground. And this paint spills all over you. And this naked flame kind of comes down as he's pushing and bringing it down towards you to shout in your face. What's your reaction? Apart from bursting into flames.
Aces is going to grab his hand that's holding the flame, and he's going to attempt to overpower this guy and bash him, make him bash himself in the face with this flame.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Okay. So I think at this moment in what that's done, what this has done is put you in a desperate position.
Yeah.
You're attempting to tangle with this guy.
I feel this is going to be a skirmish,
I think you're probably right.
which isn't
I
good.
think the situation is desperate, and the effect, once again, because of your forearm, is going to be limited. What's your objective here? Well, you're attempting to.
At this point, Aces is attempting to disarm and pretty much disable
basically
this.
just get that torch away from you, right?
Yeah, but also take out a witness at the same time, possibly blind him with the fire and everything, just like, smack him in the face, because then that'll distract him. And then he might be able to, deal with his... He's trying to, if the ember's getting his eyes, he'll be blinded. I'm trying to blind him at this point, really. So that I gain an advantage in combat.
Okay, right. So at the moment, the effect is limited. This situation is desperate because you're covered in this stuff. If something goes wrong, you are going up in flames.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can push yourself to make that effect higher.
I'm definitely going to be.
Or you can push yourself. Or you can push yourself to give yourself an extra die. Or
I'm pushing
die.
I'm pushing myself for the die more than anything.
Okay.
Is it not the case though that Aces generally wears flame retardant clothing?
That was earlier. We said that got burned, didn't we? And it was a one-use thing.
I'd have to flashback it again, really, to get it.
Yeah, for more stress. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Okay.
Wow.
So what you do? You grab a hold of this guy's arm as he comes down and starts shouting at you.
And I managed
push his hand upward
and thrust it back into his face.
Yeah. In fact, you describe that. You describe that to me because you catch him in the face. It doesn't do quite what you wanted. Perhaps you get one eye.
Yeah. The aim is, as I do that, I'm then going to try and twist him. So as he's distracted with his eye, I'm going to kind of twist him as well to make him fall into the paint, and then get up myself whilst he's dealing with his eye in pain. I have got the flame torch now in my hands.
I don't think you have got the torch in your hands. Because you've only got a limited of it. You got a success, but it was a limited success. So we're going to be now. You can choose. You can have the torch in your hand, or you can have partially blinded him. Which do you want?
What happens to the torch if I take the blind option?
It drops to the floor.
Choices.
If it drops to the floor, isn't there paint on the floor?
Shall we take a break?
Yeah.
While you contemplate this.
Oh my god! Sorry, I've just looked at this stream. Oh my god.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Let's take a break. Before the break, it turned out that Aces had gotten himself into a bit of a skirmish with an old fella from the hound races, and was in a desperate situation where he's covered in some kind of paint, which he suspects may be highly flammable, and is in a fight with somebody who's brandishing a lit torch.
Yeah.
And at this moment in time, what's happening?
Aces has grabbed the guy's arm.
Yeah.
And has forced him to almost like hit himself and push this, and it's now burnt this guy's eye.
Okay. So he howls in pain and reels back as you do this, giving you time to get to your feet.
Yep.
You're still covered in this foul-smelling paint.
Yep.
The torch is dropped and it's kind of rolled onto the floor. So your shadows are cast huge up against the walls of this particular tunnel that you're in.
Aces is going to attempt to grab this guy and throw him towards the paint can that's probably spilt on the floor at this point.
Okay. Now we've already established that that you rolled a 6 at the last combat.
Yep.
So, and they did say the effect was limited. So you've managed to achieve part of your objective.
Yeah.
You've grabbed a hold of this guy and you're pushing him back now towards the paint can. And he's howling in pain. You can see that above his eye, where his eyebrows were, it got kind of quite bushy grey eyebrows. That's one side. It's singed away. And it's still smouldering a little bit as you push him back towards this can. It's the torch is still on the floor. The can is still in the hallway. You were trying to throw it onto him while he was in a utility room. You're still in the hallway. The torch is rolling around the floor here, kind of rocking backwards and forwards in this hallway. The paint can is also there, dangerously close perhaps to this particular torch. And you want to kind of push him back. Yes. What's the deal? How?
As he's kind of put his hand on his eyes, Aces is going to kick him and try and throw him off balance so that he falls into the paint.
Okay. I think that you can have a bonus die for this. What ability is it you're using? Obviously, the danger, of course, is that you are going to get too close to the torch yourself.
It's gonna be skirmish again.
Yeah, I'd say this is still desperate, despite everything.
Yep.
He's hurt, which is giving you your bonus die. Do you want to push yourself to increase that effect?
No, but I have got Devil's Bargain.
Oh, you want to go? Okay. Well, let's hear your Devil's Bargain.
In his sheer panic, he's gonna kick as quickly as possible. Aces is going to forget to like balance and do any, and he's gonna end up, regardless, because of how unprepared he is for this, he's gonna throw himself onto the floor again. He's gonna fall over from this.
Okay.
Like he's not balanced and he's just trying to kick at this guy. He's not got his balance, and he's full of pain. And he's
my Devil's Bargain.
Ooh, go on. My
Devil's Bargain is that there's something else here which is going to catch fire. It's not Aces, but there's like some wooden shelving or something here which this torch is brushed up against, and that is going to catch fire. So this fire is going to spread slightly in this area, which is increasing the risk a little bit to Aces. But he's not necessarily... Oh, it's not going to set Aces on fire. That would be a...
Can we have a Devil's Bargain that sets Aces on fire?
No. I will take this Devil's Bargain.
Okay. So you get an extra die. You get your bonus die for that. You get an extra dice, of course, because he's partially blind. He's, howling in pain. He's distracted. It's still less effect at this moment in time.
Yep.
So your effect will be limited.
Yep.
So what's the ultimate objective, so we can decide what the limit will be? You want to push this guy onto the paint for what purpose?
I'm intending that he throws onto the paint and maybe a bit of the paint will splash closer towards the torch and ignite him.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I guess the limit is that it doesn't ignite, but he's got the paint on him. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Oh, for God's sake.
We're going to leave this here.
Oh.
Firstly, I don't know how much stress Aces has got left.
I know I, as the player, have one. Never mind my character.
Right. So the deal is you're going to need to roll a resistance roll here because you are you've set on fire. Aces is set on fire. You can make a resistance roll here, and it won't happen. But you're going to take stress. And obviously, with the resistance roll, we roll a dice.
I believe he's on 6.
So yeah. So the dice get rolled, and whatever your highest dice is on the ability on the attribute we choose, whatever the highest dice result is, we take that away from 6, and that's how much stress you take. Okay.
Yep.
Now this sounds to me like it's going to be a resistance on prowess, because you're trying to dodge out of the way of getting caught on the flames. So
Yep.
you're going to click on prowess, and we're going to make a roll. And you just click roll for that. And you roll a 6, and you suffer from 0 stress. So this guy, as you kind of go to trip this guy, you stumble
Yep.
and fall dangerously close to this shelf that is now burning next to you, and you kind of lay down next to it, and you can feel the heat from these flames, and you can see this paint all over your body, but it does not catch. And we're going to leave you just there for a second while we go back to the others and see what they're up to. Khmer,
Oh,
where were you? What were we doing?
well, after speaking to Casta and kind of bringing me in for drinks, I know that he had sent Aggie. I know that Aggie was sent out. I'm going to be trying to find Aggie.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We can try to find Aggie. Where is Aggie?
I'm still in the pub. With the...
You're in Little Keg, aren't you?
I am in Little Keg with Conway.
Yes. You're in there for a while? Is it gonna be,
yeah.
I'm thinking, so it's going to be fairly easy for
Yeah, because I'm still trying to persuade... well, actually, I am going to be sitting with this guy, and I've just about had enough of his flapping about and stuff.
He's whining and moaning about his lot in life.
So I'm going to use command on him in the end to say, sort yourself out. You need to go back. We need to find out as much information about the breakout at the prison. And I want to know who's got what the information that the blue coats have got at the minute.
Okay.
You're going to go and do it.
You're not going to need to roll for this because, he's friendly to you to a degree.
Mm.
And there's nothing going to happen if you fail. There's no real consequence.
It's like we've all got to take risks to get what we want, and you know.
Why am I taking all the risks?
You think you're taking all the risks?
That's what it seems like. What risks are you taking, Aggie?
We take risks all the time. We broke into the jail. We were actually physically in the jail. So all we need you to do is get some information and then just lay low for a couple of weeks. Just get on with your job and act like, everything's normal. But something big's going to happen. And if we make it big, you make it big. You'll get higher. Just you have to be a little bit more careful with what you do and say and how you act. That's all.
You let Aces know, yeah? If this all goes wrong, I know he'll make sure I'm all right, yeah?
Yeah, he'll be on fire in sorting that out.
Smooth.
He gets up to leave, and that's when perhaps Tamer enters the pub. Conway kind of sees you.
Go now.
And he doesn't really acknowledge you as he brushes past you, Tamer. He looks pissed off. Are you with Castor, or did you come here by yourself?
No, you know what? I think not a bad idea have Casta. Maybe this is where we came to drink.
Okay. Oh, okay. Laura, yeah, let's do that. That's fine. So you and Castor both enter as Conway leaves. Aggie is sitting in the booth.
Aggie, you met Casta, my best friend?
Aren't you supposed to be following somebody?
He gave us the slip. It's almost like
Well,
he
probably
knew.
because you're in the pub drinking.
No, God, no, not at all. He was acting all paranoid and weird and shit. I'm telling you, I followed him, and it's like he knew he was going to be. It was almost like he was in fear for his life. Something is going on, and you got to hear this. Wasn't it your family that owned the racetrack before Vreen came and took it over?
Yes.
Don't you have this like huge vengeance against Vreen and everything?
Yes.
Aren't we working so that you regain ownership partially? It'll be the gangs, but partial ownership over this racetrack again?
Yes.
Then can you tell me why Aces made a deal with Chains? Partner with him in ownership of the tracks? Something's going on behind our backs here. And right now, I don't know who I can trust.
Think about
but I trust
it.
You.
Yes, and Chains has promised me that the track will become mine and that he's using Chains to get what he needs, obviously.
You don't make deals like that with these type of people. Unless
the
you
only way
mean it.
to do anything is to make deals.
Casta, tell her what you heard. This doesn't make any sense.
It's right.
I'm telling you, there's going to be a
He
double
said that he wanted to be the sole proprietor and that Chains was going to be in the background as a silent partner. That's what he said. I heard him say it.
Aggie, what did he say to you when he took you alone?
I've been with Aces a long time and I trust him and I trust him with my life. And he is going to do right by me with the racetrack. And Toma, are you really questioning it after all that we've been through?
Look, he didn't come to us and say, hey, listen, I'm going to make this deal with Chains, but it really doesn't mean anything. He doesn't tell us anything. I mean, who knows? I mean, how do you know you can trust him? You've been with him a long time? I've been with Casta a long time. He taught me everything I knew. I mean, I don't mind that he goes and he double crosses other people. If he's upfront with us and tells us about it, I have no problem.
Well, he's been
why
upfront
wouldn't
and
he
told
tell
me
us that this is how he's doing his machinations and manipulations? Don't you find that suspicious?
sometimes you have to be careful what you say to people in case we get caught, interrogated, and we let things slip.
You know, I don't know. The way I've
do
seen him
have
treat
a
you lately,
conflict,
the way he
letting
yells
things
at you
slip.
and screams at you, he gets upset with you all the time.
They
You did
shook
stab
on
the
it,
right
Aggie.
person. You stabbed the right person, but not at the right time. You weren't told to stab anybody. No stabbing. I mean, that's what I hear him. He's always chastising you, and I get a little. I feel I could trust you. I don't know if I could trust Aces.
Toma, calm down. Oh my God, what is it today of dealing with men that have got their knickers in a twist? Right.
Oh, forget it, Tomer. Forget it. She's,
Turn around and go, you only heard something.
I heard enough.
And you're not in our gang and you're not privy to certain information. So why don't you go away and stop sticking your vile words in Toma's ears? If Toma...
Vile words?
Hey, Caster, she doesn't know you like that. She doesn't mean it. Listen, I'm sure Bang and Chains are finished now with their banging activities or whatever she does. So it should be fine. You could go back and just, watch over Chains in the meantime. Listen, Aggie, I've got a solution to this problem, really. I've been developing a new contact for us in the Blue Coats. It's word on the street is that, Conway may not be as trusted anymore as he was. I say that we give my new contact Chains' location. He'll owe us. The Bluecoats will find him, rearrest him, and then we have no problem. With Chains out of the way, it doesn't even matter what deal. Aces will have no choice but to continue to work with us, give you the partial, it's a win-win. And nobody needs to know about this except you and me. I trust you. This is a way to solve everything. We can get Chains out of the... I don't even know why we brought him into the picture. And what was the deal with that little girl anyways? I'm so confused. It's like twisted plot. Twisted plot.
I'm confused every moment of the day. But right now, there's a chance that I'm going to get my dog track back. So
there's a chance it's going to go to Chains instead.
If it goes to Chains, I'll just kill Chains. It's as simple as that. And I'll kill Aces for backstabbing me.
That's not so simple, and you know it. Why don't we force the hand? We don't have to kill anybody.
Well, let's just
force the hand by just divulging the location. We'll get the Bluecoats on our side.
Goodness. No, Toma. I'm going to let this one play out, and then if this fails, then me and you will take Aces and Chains out. Yes. But at the moment, I don't think Chains is going to be a long term. He's being used for his contacts.
I say we don't need the contacts anymore. We don't need Chains' contacts for anything.
Okay, so if you want to go and do that, then you do that. But at the moment, I'm running with the plan.
Look, I trust you. If you say run with the plan, I'm going to run with the plan. I'm only looking out for you. I have no skin in this, to be honest. I mean, all I do is I handle dogs. That's, but I'm... This is like, I can't escape Severos. It's Severos all over again.
Who are you
I have to leave this place
Where
for whatever reason, because I don't have a secure place in a gang. Where am I going to go to next?
You're in this gang, and we've got your back. But you need to go and find that contact that you were following.
I'll go back and see if I can find it. But I'm telling you, Aggie, all I'm trying to do is have your back.
I've got your back, and you've got my back.
She's got your back. All right.
I got you. I got you the information. That's, what you decide to do with it now, and how you decide to interpret it.
I will speak to Aces, or maybe you should speak to Aces.
Maybe Aces is the one that should have spoken to us in the first place, and then we wouldn't have to speak to Aces, and I wouldn't have to speak to you, and you wouldn't have to speak to Aces, only to get a response from Aces.
Let's leave that there, and decide. Is Bang up to anything in particular? Anything that would be worthy of some screen time? What do you think? Or are you
no, because I think if everybody is still out, she literally would have gone back to try and figure out what this
She's analysing.
You want to find out what's in that stuff. Okay, I think that would be a project, I think, that you can undertake.
Yeah.
So we'll pursue that in a moment, maybe in a moment, or maybe in season 2. Who the hell knows? Because time's getting on. We'll jump back then briefly to Aces, who has managed to avoid being set on fire, and is doing what?
What's the other guy doing right now? Is he still like lying on the floor?
You managed to trip him, didn't you? I think that's what we said. So yeah, he's kind of lying on the floor. He's screaming out in pain. He's clutching at his face where this torch has caught onto it and has burnt him.
How's the fire?
The fire is spreading.
That's just fine, thank you.
Yeah. The fire is on fire, mate. Take note, people. The Infinity is speechless.
Time to put the technical difficulties.
This is
up.
going to be like the most important question.
Yeah. Okay.
This
We like those
basically
kind of
going to
questions.
decide a fate here.
All right.
Does Aces know if this guy knows Aces? Has he ever seen this guy before?
I think that's a fortune roll, isn't it? Aces hangs around at the track quite a bit.
Yeah, I know.
This guy works there. I think he probably.
He so knows you.
I think it's likely, but I'm willing to let the dice decide. It's going to be a bonus dice, though. On top of that one, let's have a look. He knows you. He knows of you, but he doesn't know you. But he knows of you,
He'll
which
recognize
is pretty much
me.
the same thing. In regard to
Yeah.
that question, I guess.
Yeah, I was worried that this would be the answer.
You wanted to, yeah,
I was hoping he wouldn't know and I could get wind of it.
yeah.
Aces is going to... He's going to pick up what's the paint that's left on the floor
Yeah.
and throw it on this guy.
Okay. He's not doing very much at all, except howling in pain.
Yeah.
It's fairly straightforward, I think. I don't think it's a particularly difficult task. The only thing that would be, I suppose, is that there is fire all around you at the
Yeah.
moment, or but I'm not going to make you roll. I'm just going to say that it happens.
Yeah.
What's your next move?
Aces from this point with this guy on the floor in pain, now covered in the paint and the fire spreading. How certain is it from Ace's point of view that this is going to catch and this guy's going to get caught on fire with it? Like, is the paint trickling towards the fire? Can
We
you
know,
see
we
it?
know that Ace is well versed in fires and the starting thereof. If he's just left where he is inevitably going to catch fire very soon. Yeah.
On that understanding, Aces is going to turn and walk away.
Okay. So you make your way back to the ladder out of the cellar.
Yeah.
Climb yourself up. You can hear the fire raging a little bit down there now as it's catching more of the shelf. And that goes up quite readily. Perhaps as you reach the top of the ladder, there's a sudden whoosh as you hear the paint finally catch down there. And a glow sweeps down that below you towards the ladder.
Aces will...
And you feel the heat suddenly intensify from that direction.
Aces would look for the nearest body of water. Well, I do know there is a canal right outside the racetrack, right? Looking at the map.
There's canals all over Duskwall,
Yeah.
so it's not too. I mean, I wouldn't say it was right outside,
Well,
but
no, yeah.
it's not too, actually not too far. Yeah, across the
yeah.
street.
He would run and head for that canal to dive straight into it.
Okay. So you just leave the. I would like. I mean, this guy is not the only employee of the racetrack.
Oh
He's
God,
not
no!
going to
It's
be
at
there alone.
night. There's no one else there.
So what I'd like to know is, how does Aces leave without being seen by anybody else?
So there is people. Aces sees people.
There's other people. There would be other people knocking around, of course. Yeah, I mean, this guy isn't going to paint the entire racecourse by himself. Of course, there are other people about.
I'm gonna take a quick glance up to Vreen's office, which I know, and I see the light is out.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna shout out to everyone in proximity. Fire under the stadium! Vreen's down there!
Okay. And then
I'm gonna
slip
run
away?
for the, and then gonna try and slip away with the crowd that kind of run away.
Okay. I mean, I say crowd's probably a bit of a...
Well, the few...
there'll be a few people.
Yeah.
So they're going to run to try and raise the alarm
Yep.
or whatever. And you slip out of the gate and run for the canal
Yep.
and jump straight in.
I'm head first, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so you jump into the canal, and you can hear lots of shouting, yelling going on from the stadium, in the direction of the stadium. There's a lot of screaming, yelling, perhaps even bells ringing or something. I don't know. It's not. You don't hear the old. Actually, yes, you do. Yes, you do hear the bell from Bellwether Crematorium ringing, ringing out as you sink beneath the water. But maybe that's the kind of the last bit you hear. I'm deciding how we deal with the fire. That's going to be the next thing.
It's not like the whole
you know what?
stadium's been painted in that stuff or anything.
No, it's not. It's not at all. I mean, it's not like it's a tinderbox waiting for a spark at all.
maybe Infinity should get to roll for that. Let's leave it in the player's hands.
I think.
Hey, that's my heritage.
I think that's probably not a bad call. I think
mean,
it'll be a
that's-
fortune roll.
Definitely a way to end it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fortune roll.
If you burn down the stadium, I am definitely telling Aggie that that's what you planned all along in order just to get
You don't know it was me. You don't know.
Yes, you're right.
And
We will though.
so,
Can we be clear on what the outcome I want?
sure. I mean, for anybody watching, let's be clear on the outcome that Aces wants.
Is 6 like it's just a small fire and they managed to put it out and it didn't burn down the whole thing? And
Yeah.
1 is, yeah, that's an issue. Can I just put, for the record, this is not how I intended this whole go and investigate the paint scenario to go.
I know that.
I don't think
know
any
that.
of us did. It was just you could have spotted
look.
the guy and just carried on.
This is
Whatever.
probably the first guy that Aces has killed, and he actually had no intention.
I don't think it's the first time.
No.
Well, I mean, he's never done the killing, admittedly.
Yeah.
He's never done the killing. But I don't think. But he's.
Well, no, but nobody had an idea of who's gonna die. Not like
No.
a random guy he bumped into who caused a bit of an
That's-
issue straight off the bat.
He wasn't causing any issue. He was actually being friendly and doing exactly what you said.
Yes, I know, but there wasn't any more paint for me to take him to. So how was that gonna go? Oh, well, there's no paint in here.
I mean, the other thing, of course. I mean, you say there's no other paint in there. There is a shed full of this stuff, right?
Yeah, but I was hoping to try and get him to paint with a different paint and undo.
I know. I know what your intention was. I know what your intention was.
Is the flames near this tins of paint?
You just couldn't resist.
I think that's
setting
gonna
him
be
on
number
fire.
one.
It was
The
like-
sheds is the number one. The shed's gonna catch fire, and it's just gonna
Explode.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Well, we're gonna. I feel bad getting. I feel bad having Andy make this roll. To be fair,
No, I
Make him
feel
roll
it's
it.
fair. I caused
Roll it.
this.
He has
You
to
did
roll
it.
it.
I caused
No,
this.
you cannot roll it.
okay. So we're gonna have one dice there for sheer blind luck.
Fuck yeah.
And
So what we hoping for? Hope for
Six is it caught fire, but it wasn't serious. It didn't get to any of the painted sections, and so it was contained, and people managed to get it out before it took a hold.
Okay.
well, okay. So that's the 6. That's the ultimate success.
Yes.
If you roll a 1, that's the failure. Then
Yeah, and then everything else is somewhere between. I feel like 3 or lower is pretty much the Rayshad is out of action.
we will. Yeah, 1 to 3. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
4
I
to
think.
4 to 6,
And
it's
4 to-
recoverable.
4 to 6 is potentially
Not-
we. Yeah, I'm going to point out as well that this is not necessarily Ace's fault.
Yes.
And we will get to that. We will get to that. But I'd like you to make that roll then, if you are willing.
I'm gonna press it.
Do it.
I'm gonna cross my fingers.
Is that going to help? Do you think?
No.
I mean, we're all in mixed minds. We want to get right now. Oh.
Wow.
Let's just take a moment. Let's take a moment. So as Aces is in the canal, the paint kind of being washed off of him, and as he looks back at the glow in the sky, as the flames lick high and high, there's the occasional sudden bursts where the flames just leap even higher, 50 feet high, straight up into the air.
He was working with Breen all along. You see, he did his dirty work for him.
and everyone sees the glow. It burns so intensely, incinerating the entire track, which is what Dava and Vreen had planned all along. That is probably a good point to end the whole thing, to be quite honest. As we watch the flames roaring into the sky,
The one thing we've been
as
working
the
towards.
track burns to the ground, as you realize that Breen and Dava have probably got away with it. But on the plus side, maybe it's still possible to make a deal with them. Who knows?